Okay.
What are you making noises about?
Why not? Why can't I make such noises? What's the problem? You
What is
fucking
it
fascist.
What is it an allusion to?
That's a song that's playing right now. Is it not playing right now for you?
You've minimized the application, so sit tight.
You have no idea how minimal my applications are right now.
When the application is minimized?
Stream notifications. Probably just like this. There we go. I don't think I'd make a video like that. That seems like a bad video idea.
Hold on. I don't have the stream open.
Killing people with a rock idea.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
No, I think I'm not a huge rock killing fan.
I am.
Not a huge fan of rock-based murder.
You should do a video killing people with a rock.
Like this is a reference I'm supposed to understand.
Yeah? Don't you know every internet joke? Aren't you behind every internet joke? You made them all? Like that time I found out Minmod was the personal inventor of the Lane bear suit image, which really changed my whole perspective on life. Minmod invented the Lane bear suit image.
Is she not wearing that in the anime?
No, she is. But she invented the version with the text on it that says, "Fuck you, I'm in a bear suit."
Oh yeah.
She claims to, at least. She claims to have invented that, which is... I saw that image probably hundreds of times before I was even 18 years old, so... That's actually huge.
Huge bear.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, are we set there? At the correct audio levels, it seems.
Yeah. What image do you
No one's in chat complaining about the audio levels, because there's nothing wrong at all.
Yeah.
I'm putting my phone on my desk in case I'm called by my husband.
Mm-hmm.
If some sort of disaster
That makes
me
put my phone on the desk. Kind of like knowing Haley Welch, yeah. It's like if you just knew her, but then like 10 years later you found out that she made Hawk Tuah, you know? That she innovated that.
We're just gonna do one tiny little thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Should have worn a few more pairs of pants today. Haley A. Alien Welsh.
Capacity to overshadow the LGBT community. Yeah, oh, Hawk Tuah or Minmod? Because both do that. What's this image you're sending me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I've long since embraced being ogre who can't understand Ulysses. That's been my identity for some time now.
Shit. Let me edit an INI file real quick.
Edit an INI file. It ain't that deep. What is Auntie talking about?
Okay.
What's an INI file? What is Auntie
You know,
talking about?
INI.
What? We don't have those on iPad. I'm just saying, being Ulysses ogre, being Ulysses ogre is kind of where you want to be. Once you know how to once you know how to get any further than that into Ulysses, you've lost it. You become unrelatable to 99.9% of humanity. That's why I'm like that with shmups, right? That's why I made that the exact same post, but with regard to shmups. Like ogre will never understand deeper concepts of score play. Ogre can only 1cc a few cave games. Right? Like, it's just better this way. Otherwise, you become a sort of being, you know? A creature. A creature feature. Featuring the creature.
How is it possible?
Ulysses S. Ogre. Cope? I'm sorry. Like, I like fighting games. If I were the kind of guy who, like... If I were really the kind of guy talking about fuzzy jumps on anything more than a theoretical level, I think I'd go fucking crazy. If I could off the cuff rattle off the difference between a fuzzy overhead and an F-shiki, I think I'd go fucking nuts. I'd be like, I don't know, there's just some fucking difference. I'm an intermediate level gamer. That's the thing about me.
Okay, I think I fucked something up. It's line 36.
Did they actually start making that Harry Potter show? Yeah. They made Hermione brown. Yeah, they're finally doing it. Oh, hell yeah. Yes, let's fucking see how it goes.
Didn't happen. That's strange. It's supposed to happen.
Finally gonna make the girl of color crazy for wanting to end slavery. Yeah. I mean, that's just, dare I say, at this point, that's most things. At this point, it really is just the world of like, I'm Riot Games. I'm gonna make a more diverse video game, and I'm gonna do it by making I'm gonna make a bunch of brown characters, and they're all fascists. They're all just Nazis.
How to...
They might just leave that out. That's also a possibility. And it's so funny, the idea of leaving the noxious politics out of Harry Potter, because then there's just nothing interesting about it. It's one of those problematic medias where the problematic is the only thing that actually makes it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else is there? I don't know. You can just tell exactly what kind of child fucking J.K. Rowling was based on the fact that Hermione is the character that she is. Just like, oh, this is how she saw like smart girls in school.
Save.
This is how she saw smart boards in school. I fucking hated smart boards, dude. That shit was never working. Half of all classes were just like the teachers trying to get the smart board to work. Like why do you need this at this point? This is causing more problems than it solves. Believe it or not, I am in fact young enough to have had smart boards in my classes, you know? Fucking smart boards.
We're definitely gonna make this work. If we keep trying.
What are you doing even? Too third world to have ever seen a smart board? You know, in a way that's a benefit. Being third world means that none of your schools insist on having shitty technologies that like someone on the PTA insisted they spend half the budget on.
Alright. Close the game. My files. Save. 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 There we go. Go here, we're gonna check again.
The fun value shit, huh?
Holy fucking shit. Save.
Undertale fans, when they insist that this is the funnest, most best video game ever made.
It's called creepypasta, buddy. You gotta look it up or something. Do I have to close my game, or will this save? Okay, this save properly, it seems.
Oh my fucking god, Snape? I don't know. It's just... It's one of those weird things where I'm kind of like... It is embarrassing to be into Harry Potter still, but also, it's categorically like 70% of humanity. And I don't understand how that's possible. You know, that Hogwarts Legacy shit sold like Skyrim numbers of copies. And it's just like, what? Who the fuck? Who are you people? What's happening? The antagonist after Jermaine Greer.
Check. That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Motherfucker. 1 out of 10 chance, by the way.
One in 10, you say? It had no Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Fucking, what's it called? Avatar. You know, Avatar 2. Billion dollar. $1 trillion. It's, at the end of the day, it's... We don't know what the normies are up to, or what they're doing, or why. They live in some kind of alternate reality to you and I.
There we fucking go. What the heck? What is this?
Fucking god.
Ooh, wah. What the heck was that? Oh my
They're calling it
goodness.
the
That was so
craziest
crazy.
game of all time.
That was like the craziest thing that's ever happened.
You know, you should have read that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 article I sent you.
I already predicted it in my mind, so...
I already predicted it in my mind. I've already
This one
created
tile
it.
is a different color. You see this shit?
I sure hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
I sure hope somebody didn't get a 10 bajillion copies selling game for this shit. This is fucking horseshit.
What were they thinking?
Fuck, I pressed the wrong button. I will say, I set this up before stream, and I was really hoping I got it on the first try. would have
Javel on
been way
first
more
try like
funny.
Germa.
Okay, let's go to the part where everyone loves it and there's no discourse about it ever. What a cool character. She's so cute. She's so cool.
I was already scared of Michael Jackson, you say? Michael Jackson was a
My
pretty scary
elite
guy
ball
in his
knowledge?
later life.
Does Alphys have elite ball knowledge?
No. She's actually never known anything less than she knows ball. Other than, of course, the Geneva Conventions.
We're always saying this. I'm pretty sure you also can't murder children, Mr. Asgore fan. You know, in the
He
Geneva
said sorry.
Conventions. What?
He said sorry.
Right. But if a woman says sorry, doesn't count. Doesn't count.
She has to have an epic boss fight first.
Well, you have an epic boss fight against her, the robot that she creates. Have you considered that?
That's more it's more his arc than it's hers, I'd argue.
I might say their arcs are intertwined. They're sort of like, you know,
Yeah.
two parts of the same machine.
Insert Hitler Steven Universe comic, yeah. She's the Hermione of Undertale. If you want to put it that way.
Notice how she's helping us here, almost like some sort of heroic character. I like how terribly she's drawn.
Yeah. I don't know, something soul. I don't know, I've been saying the same shit for like 5 years now, so... You know, the people are tired of it. The people know what I'm gonna say at this point.
Would you?
Notice how she was evil in this scene.
Time stands still. This is probably also true in Deltarune, if you think about it.
It is. Notice how she was bisexual in this scene.
Alphys is a little bit... that one comic that's like... Excuse me. That dad, like, reading a story to his kid, and he's saying, Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. And the kid says, water? They should have been fetching Pokemon creatures.
Yeah. Yeah. To some degree, she's supposed to come off like that. It's just sometimes I think it's not intentional. Sometimes I think Toby just needs cooler friends, you know?
Well...
Cooler friends
What's not cool about
anime.
Android Hussy and Vizzypop and fucking Omocat?
What's not cool about, fucking Amazing Digital Circus? All the coolest people I know are into it. And June had me watching TADC. It's actually pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. Granted, the fans hate all of the good parts and want more of all of the bad parts. That's sort of their deal. is that they're kind of opposite people.
It's half fall. What a good song.
I love the good parts. So true. They like the purple guy? No, they hate the purple guy. They actually hate him, and they post Gooseworks' address on the internet when she says that he's like an important character. Who
No
is
fucking
being
way. Isn't Dairy Lane the best character?
Oh my god. Now, if Toby had included a vagina bones joke, then I'd be like, he's in the know. He's in the know about anime jokes. Heard that the purple guy was problematic and killed children, yeah. Think they like the purple guy? They draw their fan art? Well, they're divided. There's a division in the fan base. There's pro-purple guy and there's anti-purple guy.
This is a really good bit, by the way.
I don't think Undertale has the correct age demographic or level of art style detail to make a vagina bones joke. It was made by a guy who is of the age necessary to have known that joke. Therefore, you know? One of you was the one that called me crazy for saying this game was for kids. Definitely wasn't me. I love calling everything baby cartoons and medias. Was it Ela? It could have been. The reality is that Earthbound is for kids, and that game has some fucked up shit in it. Mother 3, you know. Are you trying to explain to my acquaintances on the doll server that I don't want to watch doll cartoons in my free time?
Garbage can with several pink glittery filters over it.
Joining the doll fan base and finding out, wait a minute. Wait just a second. Well, like shit for babies?
Which one of these two are you, if you were one of these two?
Leave that for the viewers to decide.
I like to think you're the sunglasses guy. Well, the green one. I guess those could be
Nobody-
like white sunglasses.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to watch Pluribus with me. Pluribus was good, but you know, the more I reflect on it, I'm just like, eh. Pretty good. A solid pretty good. It's doll slop. Well, if you do these epic puzzles, I'm gonna be back in a second after I go to the bathroom.
I'll hack into the mainframe. I'm so good at video games. Maybe Fox should have more of these in this game. Real puzzles. None of those fake fucking riddles and shit. Thank you for your huge balls anecdote, Cactus Alicana. First straight up does not give a fuck. It's crazy how much better Deltarune is in this game.
That's crazy, because I thought this was the most perfect, best game of all time. That's what I was told.
Maybe it's recency bias, but I'm just thinking about chapter 3 bits and like, wow, they're like even better. Like I genuinely, Toby Fox has gotten so much better. Like I was just thinking about this whole section, like this is basically just a deliverance of bits, like it's a distraction from the main gameplay loop and it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
In Deltarune, like shit like this is like, oh, if you know, this is an optional challenge, but if you do well, you can like get more money to buy more items, or maybe there's like a secret, a special item you can get here. Like, he just made a better game.
You know, I just think about, you know, a lot of people out there were like, Hollow Knight is a literal 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I don't know if you have any problems with this game, you've actually fucked up and you have no media literacies. I mean, you know, the sequel comes out and they're like, wow, this is even better than that game. And I think to myself, how's that? How's that work? You know? How's the previous game a flawless 10 out of 10 masterpiece and the sequel is even better? You know, they're saying that question hasn't been answered yet.
I don't know. I feel like it's mostly just people who don't understand anything. I don't know what the word is. Like, they're not really doing a thorough, you know, genuinely critical analysis of, like, gameplay and, like, writing and structure and all that other shit. I feel like, you know, Undertale really brings to mind, like, possibilities, right? Possibilities for how it to be different. That's why there's a bunch of Undertale fan games, I'm sure. People are like, you know, this is a really great game, but I can imagine it being even better. And, you know, that's what Deltarune is. It's like if Undertale was better.
There's just I think there's a lot of people out there with no counterfactuals, right? They play a good video game and they don't they never imagine ways it could be better because they like it. So that's like, why would you do that? You know, they have no frame of reference, right? They've never played like Super Metroid and gone like, oh, wait, I'm actually not sure I like that this game is 60 hours long. You know, they don't think about it in that way.
The dead pixel, the one dead pixel.
We like the dead pixel. We're big fans. It's also moving.
It's great how he put the dead pixel in like every boss. In every boss room, in every chapter of Deltarune. It's such a good fucking bit. And I love how for the fucking Undertale anniversary stream where he played it again, like, he just added another one. He added another one exclusively for the bit.
We love dead pixel.
No, I think Hollow Knight Silk Song has a plot. I think
it does.
Heat's Flamesman. And I want to believe what happened here, right? Is that he froze time and he took his booth from Snowden, right? That has to be what happened. But I thought Alphys was a girl.
Hot dog's the best phallic food. That's a good question. I gave fucking Hollow Knight Silksong a goddamn 8 out of 10 on backlog, so that's how you know I have integrity. I was like, this game's a lot better. It's still like, and 8 out of 10 on my scale. That's pretty fucking good. That's like a I would actively recommend this to people. But I'm still just like, damn, this game does not need to be 60 fucking hours long. That's a little bit. That's way too much, actually. It's actually way too fucking long to make it. I can't believe we made like 60-hour games basically like the standard. I really remember when like on Super Nintendo the longest fucking like the lengthy, incredibly fucking dense games that were way like super luxurious for fucking 30-hour long RPGs. I would just like if we went back to that at a certain point. Gen Z attention span. Yep. Uh-huh. Everybody loves when a game takes 6 fucking months to beat.
I didn't think about that.
Everyone hop on Kirby Star Stacker, you know? I could use some footage at least of like real-time puzzle games, you know? I don't know what the term is. I guess action puzzle, arcade puzzle. Genre names are fake as fuck. That's the thing about them.
Bad opinion zone.
Yeah, arcade puzzle games. I do understand why video games are stupidly long now. No one cares about post-game and replays. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is the idea that you would play a game multiple times is seen as like freak shit. Like that has to be one of your favorite games ever if you're gonna replay a video game. Whereas if you're not, dare I say, a sort of bourgeois, sort of upper middle class freak who can afford 50 fucking games a year, it's like, well, yeah, I intend to replay games, even games I don't think are that great, because I fucking have to.
Couldn't
Yeah,
be me.
I intend to replay video games when, the video games in question are like shit I'm playing on emulator, because I have to. See also basically the complete lack of any meaningful critical look at fucking multiplayer games, competitive multiplayer, because, dare I say, gaming criticism is bourgeois. Dare I fucking say.
This is a great bet.
I'm not looking at the screen, actually, now that I think about it. Video games are stealable sometimes? Yeah. And then you steal like a 6 out of 10 AAA game, and you're like, why did I risk getting a virus for this? Why did I learn how to torrent just to play like shittier games than I could just download off archive.org? Yeah. No one replays games unless it's quote unquote part of the narrative. Yeah. There are actually people who will tell you, like, no, I didn't do any of the extra ending stuff in Nier or Nier Automata because the credits rolled, which means the game is over. People, it's just the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. People are like, it's actually fine for someone to quit at that point because the credits rolled. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. The game is not over. Yeah, literally 2/3 of the game. That's like being like, well, I stopped watching the TV show after episode 1 because there were credits. Credits mean the thing is over.
Hello, welcome to chat. The fog is coming.
I got my whole life ahead of me. So, I'm not even worried about
If you
that.
think about it, you do have your whole life ahead of you. Like, at all times. Until you're dead.
Yeah, if you think about it. You sort of investigate it. I don't know, it's just a little like... I do try my best not to be Mr. Prescriptive, like actually games are only this one kind of thing and anything else is digital entertainment and you can't call them games and they have different... I try not to do that, because it's like a word can mean multiple things. But then I'm just like, this video game, which is a first-person shooter with levels and enemies and guns, it's not very fun to replay, even though a game of this kind definitely should. And they go like, oh, no. Oh, whoa. Are you saying everything that could possibly be called a game needs to be replayable? No, but this kind does. This particular kind definitely does.
There's even an app to destroy all ops.
You have to destroy all ops. I've been working on that. This is digital entertainment? Yeah. It sure is. I don't know. Many problems caused by the fact that we use one word to refer to two different things, or to one thing and a subcategory of that thing. Played Void Stranger? No. I will at some point. It's just... You're all talking about, like, blocks and puzzles and shit. I've never beaten a game that has a single puzzle in it.
Too easy.
I'm getting block pilled. You should play Kirby Star Stacker. I can handle it when there's a time component. because typically they substitute, you know, a certain amount of complexity with time, you know. That's the benefit of the action game to me, is that I'm too stupid to solve problems that are so complicated you need like infinite time. So if you replace some of the complexity with just like do it fast, then I do a lot better.
Diffused dog. Classic straight pick. That's actually Gaster down there. That's where he fell into the gore.
Yeah.
That's Jaster down there.
Yeah, that's Jester down there. Kill Jester. I gotta finish watching fuck was that show called? Peep Show. Everybody watch Peep Show. That's an incredible show. You know, I read all the things that were like, yeah, it really gets bad in like the later seasons, and I'm like, really don't think that's true. I think it's about as funny as it's been the whole time. The first season is the funniest season, unfortunately. It is the best one, but like after that, you know, settles into a pretty good rhythm. First season is just. Of course, AJ would watch the bisexual show. It is a show about two guys who absolutely cannot admit that they are gay for each other. They are just so unbelievably gay for each other, and they will not admit it. One of them gets married so that he can deny that he's gay for the other guy, you know? Gets married to a woman he hates and who hates him.
That's a pretty good pattern. I like that one.
I think you would all watch Peep Show, and you'd never get over calling me. I don't know which one you'd think I am, actually. You'd think I was a Mark.
Oh, you're a Merc, alright.
Some people have several gay episodes. The show has many gay episodes. There is an episode where Jez just like gets hired by a famous musician, and he's like, "This is my big break." I'm finally gonna make my big break as a musician, and it turns out his job is just giving the dude hand jobs. And he's like, "Well, he pays me a lot. He pays me a lot of money to jerk him off."
I'm always saying this. Heel turning villains.
You described me as young, dumb, and full of calm. Yeah, you'd call it. I'm not one of those things, and it's up to audience interpretation which one of them doesn't apply. It's kind of a two truths and a lie situation. I played He Fucked the Girl Out of Me for the first time the other day. Is that a game?
Oh my god. So that one tweet I posted that was like, if you want to make an indie game, you should like play games in the genre and get an understanding, etc. It's like from months ago. Some guy replied to it like saying this is genuinely regressive. He said this is genuinely regressive. And he was going on this whole tangent, or I was trying to like, get to the point of what I was saying, because he said, the best games I played are the least derivative. I'm like, how do you know they're not derivative? Which the point I was gonna make was being, like, you can only make something that's not derivative, with knowledge of what is.
Yeah, you'd have to know everything ever made to definitively call something not derivative. You'd have to have a superhuman amount of knowledge.
And then I'm trying to heuristically get to that point, and so I'm asking him how do you know, right? What is your method of determining this? And the answer is just playing games, which is the point of what I'm getting at, right? Like, you play a lot of games to make this kind of judgment. I'm like, well, how do you know? And he's joking around. He says, well, it's because I'm the Ultimate Gamer, and I have this blog called The Ultimate Gamer. And on that blog, he reviewed Final Fantasy VII 10 out of 10. Final Fantasy VII 10 out of 10. And he reviewed He Fucked the Girl Out of Me 0 out of 10. This is the game, the quote-unquote gameplay is just walking to the right and interacting with things to get text. And I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking visual novel.
Yeah, like an adventure game type of... That is, ain't that how it goes? Ain't that just exactly how it goes?
Talking about, like, this story of male prostitution where the character learns nothing but wallowing in degeneracy and causing their own problems. And it's just like...
Wallowing in degeneracy.
Like, how are you calling me saying you need to play video games regressive?
It does... Look, I'm just gonna say that a lot of people... the chuds are out here saying, like, this is actually, they're out here using words like coded. It's like, that's not one of your words. You don't get to use that. They're out here saying shit like, you're ageist against Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And at a certain point, you just gotta be like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any fucking sense. You just gotta be like, no, can you just go back to calling people SJWs, man? This is not good. This is not good what you're trying to do here. And I don't think you realize what you're doing. I watched the skitty bitty video about the Orientalism in the fucking Zelda games. And it was just crazy, like, getting to the reveal of, like, oh yeah, this dude is just straight up, like, a chud. Just unquestionably. And it's like, I don't think he knows that, though. I don't think he knows he's a chud. Many such cases. This dude is, like, citing Orientalism by Edward Said, and he's like, but I'm kind of a chud, though. And it's like, how does this fucking happen? The Taliban, yeah, the fucking Taliban bit. It's like, how do you not know? How do you not know you're a chud? But then I'm like, when I was like 18, I definitely had some, like, how do I not know I'm a chud opinions,
A boomerang.
I definitely had some, like, I'm voting for Bernie Sanders, but also, like, I think feminism is cringe type opinions. It's not impossible. It's just getting funnier over time as it's become, like, the line in the sand is, like, people pick up, like, people pick up like leftisty language from YouTube videos they like about video games, and then they don't square that with like their actual opinions, which is that racism doesn't exist.
Well, it exists. It does exist. It's just existing somewhere else. Not right
Yeah.
here.
It never exists anywhere that I might have to ask questions about the shit I like. It's never over here, you know? It's always, and it has to be the most cartoonish example of it. And also, even when it is a literal cartoonish example, as in Zelda, it's like, yeah, but it's different, though. Like, what was the thing? He basically ends it with the conclusion, like, well, it's representation, so you have to like it, right? Like, would you rather there be no representation at all? Which is, like, so retrograde. Again, when I was, like, 16, I probably said some shit like that, right? And it's like, how do you not get by now?
They should hire the Wood Changer devs to do this one in Deltarune.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the fucking thing about, like, this is actually a metaphor about Link's sexual awakening, and it's like, brother, how do you not? You didn't read more than 2 pages of Orientalism if you think that that's not just like Orientalism 101. That's fucking crazy, dude. Him making shit up about like how they're thieves because they live in the desert, and it's like, brother, how do you not know? Guy who like doesn't remember middle school history class, doesn't remember the part about, like, by the way, all of human civilization started on like in like deserts and like rather arid places that were like a city sprung up by a river. You know? This is like the bed of civilization.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Weirdo kidnap men to... Yeah, it's like, that's just not what early 2010s, back when people still mixed their fan fiction into the canon and sold it to everyone on YouTube videos. Yeah, most lore videos about Dark Souls. Just honestly, most of them. It is actually fucking crazy how many things the fans believed to be objectively true that were just like Vadi kind of spinning a yarn for the sake of a video because it was like entertaining. I will personally kill him, honestly. Yeah, I'm not racist. I just know they're all evil thieves. That's the thing, right? That's like level 2 of racism, right? Level 1 racism, which is a very rare thing to just like run into outside of like Twitter nowadays or like fucking Stormfront, is like, yeah, they're just bad, am I right? You know, they're just bad. They're just bad because they're bad, right? That's like the form of racism that you almost never fucking encounter. Level 2 racism is like, well, of course their material conditions caused them to be an inferior race. They didn't have any choice, you know? Of course they had to be thieves. They live in the arid desert where there's nothing. And it's like, oh, this is the racism for stupid people who don't know they're being racist.
Almost got to turn my mic back on.
That was a fucking crazy ass video. That is one of the... I'm just gonna say, you know, I've also seen some defenses of not particularly woke video games that sort of came across that way. Maybe a
Who
little
can
more well
say?
presented. Maybe a little more well presented, maybe a little less egregious, but ultimately in a similar
Yeah, very good editing. You
fashion.
know, did a lot of research by looking at Google search trends.
Yeah, a little...
Hour-long videos, multiple hour-long video.
Yeah. Definitely actually, like, read the books being claimed to have been read. Although I have been told by a friend who reads a lot of philosophy, like, it's literally impossible. Like, almost no one has read all of Carl Jung. If you hear someone say that they've read all of Jung, they are probably lying.
Why?
He wrote so fucking much. He wrote an unbelievable amount.
Well, Jordan Peterson read all of Jung and all of Nietzsche, of course. You know, he would never.
Would you read Jung? I don't know. He's historically important, even if he's fucking stupid.
Holy shit! Mettaton's flame is pink. Mettaton's wearing like sky blue, white, and has a pink flame. Whatever could this?
I too have played Final Fantasy VI. God, I gotta watch Nirvana the Band, the show, some more. I watched the first season, then I just didn't continue, even though it was fucking incredible.
It wasn't even 100 rooms ago. It was like 50 rooms ago, maybe 60.
They should make a critically acclaimed game where the human character has yellow skin and nobody questions it, and if you do, you're insane. Yeah. Possible Jordan Peterson read all of Jung. I genuinely don't think he has. I think he's read some amount of Jung, but definitely not all.
I got pretty far though.
Should play Final Fantasy VI. I feel like it's important.
I'm planning on playing, you know, Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3, which is, you know, their canonical names, of course.
I've never been able to get into
Final Fantasy 1 and 4 and
Fantasy.
6. I have downloaded some emulators, legally purchased some copies.
I've just, I've physically owned a lot of Final Fantasy games, and I just can't get into them. There's just so, like, something that doesn't work about them for me. Across, like, all the eras. Like, I've tried ones from, like, Sword and Sorcery Final Fantasy and, like, Techno Future Final Fantasy. And I'm like, something about this just doesn't work for me. But, you know, maybe that was just me being, like, 16 and being a pleb or something.
That's pretty good. This is the only thing that's making Undertale a legitimate shmup.
Where's the hyper system?
I felt like a total screw up. I couldn't do anything without ending up letting everyone down. But guy, you has made me feel a lot better about myself.
Oh my god,
Thanks
you're
for letting
doing
me
the
help
Alpha's
you.
voice.
We're almost to the core. It's just past empty Hero's Heart. Let's finish this.
Filtered.
I was basically right there.
They should make a Simpsons video game. There's a lot of those, yeah. There's this video that shows up in my recs sometimes that's like, by the way, Simpsons Hit and Run isn't actually that good of a video game. And I'm just like, what micro niche of people are you talking to that like Simpsons Hit and Run is regarded as like a great video game? I feel like there are people who say that, but it's just like a very specific niche. It is otherwise a completely forgotten video game. Barring like people specifically my age up to like 5 years older who watched The Simpsons a lot as kids. And even then, they're probably like just sort of childhood nostalgia-ing about it and not genuinely advocating for it as like a masterpiece.
These two are such a great duo. I can't fucking believe in Deltarune they don't have any interactions except for complaining about each other.
Oh my god, it's called... I don't know what it's called, I don't have a bit for that, but it's called something.
They
It's
need to
called
hurry
subverting
the
your
fuck
expectations.
up and like get them together. They need to get them back together. When's the character development gonna happen? We're halfway through the fucking game. It's a really good bet.
Maybe if the game was finished, they would interact. Maybe that's the dark ending, right? Is that if the monsters were never banished to the underground, then those two would never have, you know, they'd hate each other. Maybe it's kind of a twist in that direction. Like, ooh, be careful what you wish for.
This song makes me want to skip ahead to 60 seconds.
Simpsons Arcade, that's a real video game. I don't know that. I'm just saying that because it would be in character for me.
I sure hope Sam doesn't time stop me and bring me over inside the building like some sort of Dio on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Might win on my IDW Rodimus Prime model kit. Pray for me, lowly individuals. It's crazy, like... It's crazy when you go down to the gay bar and everyone's like, yeah, that guy over there, that's Rodimus Prime. Because he's got that Prime Rodimus.
So I'm thinking of making a video about video games.
That's fucked up. That's actually a brand new thing that no one's ever thought to do before. You should elaborate on what you mean by this.
So it's gonna be about, like, why people are stupid for talking about, well, the medium of gaming is about the stories, and
Yeah.
they should be destroyed.
Yeah, ludonarrative dissonance type motherfuckers. It's very funny that the original article that coined that term is simply wrong about the thing it's talking about. Like, it coins a term I think makes sense and is kind of real, but like the actual argument being made is not correct. Optimus is also gay. Yeah. I mean, there's almost no women Transformers, right? It's kind of a Toho thing. Like, how can they not be gay? They don't have any other choice. Animal Jayson says people are only gay when they have no choice. This y'all's fave?
It's fucked up. Using the ludonarrative dissonance created by a plot tritone to create a satisfying gamer cadence.
Really, what Clint Hawking meant by ludonarrative dissonance is just he disagrees with the plot of BioShock, and he doesn't know that. Right? Like, he disagrees with the themes of BioShock, but does not know why.
Do you think Sans is from Deltarune? That's what he's talking about here? He's talking about being from Deltarune? A lot of people think that now.
Clint Hawking was really truly... He was just saying, like, BioShock seems like it's trying to disagree with this libertarian guy, but it kind of fails at that. And I'm like, well, that's because... that's because the guy who wrote it does not disagree with libertarians. You're actually making up that part of the thing. Hold on, I'll be back in a second. I gotta use the bathroom.
These are all Metaton. We dug mazes with puzzles. So he ran away. When is this character gonna show up in Deltarune? Really makes you think. My treasure hoard. What a great character. His hat is on upside down. Oh no, now it's on upside right. It keeps switching. It's definitely a W right now, and now it's like a smushed M. Do you think Cream Pants or that ship name will be real in Deltarune Chapter 5? I think the Nice Cream guy is going to show up in like a pretty princess dress, and I'm sorry, a pretty pizza princess dress, right? And he's gonna be like, it's me. And then alternate universe Burger Pants is gonna be like, wowza, what a hot lady. And Nice Cream guy will have to be a girl or something, and that'll be Toby Fox's one example of transgender representation in Deltarune. On-screen transition in Deltarune. What future? Nothing down here ever changes. It's really funny that he ends up being a, you know. Stray Pixel? Mirrored Stray Pixel? No fucking way. Legendary. Burger Chud? Welcome to Chud Burger, home of the Chud Burger. Can I get a nothing burger? Chaser orb.
Hey. How's your gaming?
I just forgot how to deal with this guy. I'm dealing with the Chaser orb right now. What it's canonically called. we got a nothing burger from the chud who works here. I'm sure you remember him. A nothing burger.
Yeah, can I get a mecha show with no politics, no gay people, you know, no boring episodes where nothing happens. Like, you want a mecha show with nothing on it? Why do you get knights that look like him? What was his idea there?
Oh.
Or is that how she, you know... She's putting a child in danger. That's crazy. I think the guy that was talking about ludonarrative dissonance in Bioshock was saying, like, a basically true thing, which is that, you know, the game is about free choice and choosing what you want, but, like, you can't choose to side with Andrew Ryan. Which, like, it's kind of about that. I don't know. The game is the game is about how you should do good things instead of bad things. And what good things means is saving children, and what bad things means is murdering children. And there's really not a crazy amount more to it. Regardless of what Clint Hawking thinks. And, like, the idea of, like, oh, well, why can't you, you know, what about Andrew Ryan's ideology? You know, what if you agree with it? It's like, well, the game does not consider that possible. Also, just a bit odd, like, why doesn't this game have like more endings? more like possible story paths. It's like, well, because they didn't make them, you know? They simply didn't do that, you know? That game's not very good. That's the crazy thing about it, is that's just not a very good game. It's like one of the most critically acclaimed games in human history, you know? Bioshock 2, pretty good. Pretty good game.
That's not too good. It's fine now. I'm too good at this game. Oh my god. Oh wow.
I'm too good at this game.
Too easy. And they call this the Undertale challenge.
The Undertale challenge.
Oh yeah, if you just stand here, then the way opens up. It's usually blocked by the puzzle or the challenge or whatever.
We should play Takeshi's Challenge. The first ever troll game.
Should I play Takeshi's Challenge though, or should I not play that game?
It would kind of... It could definitely be used to make a point about, like...
About,
like...
what exactly?
You know, here's a game where you can't deny that it's achieving the goal it's set out to do. It definitely is trolling the fuck out of you. It's just, you know... Do we agree with that goal? You know, do we think that should be the goal of a video game? Maybe in one-off circumstances as like a gag. In this case, it is absolutely a gag.
Maybe I'll just get like a I don't know, Nazi propaganda video game, and be like, yeah, well, you know, it's functioning and being, you know, executing on its premise. It's just the thing that it wants to do is abysmal.
Yeah. Isn't Bioshock 2 about how communism is bad? Yes, but it's done in the funniest possible way. Right? It is... I can't even imagine what the developers of that game, like, think, like, socialism is. I really can't comprehend what their political theory is. Which is true of many anti-communist works. I'm just like, what do you even think you're replying to? What's her name? Sophia Lamb. I don't think at any point she, like, invokes any concept of, like, materialism. I don't think she ever, like, says anything even slightly Marx adjacent. She's just, like, stupid. I don't know what else to call it. She's just stupid.
Anyway, for my video about video games, I'm gonna, you know, make an argument about how traditional games are the same thing as video games in the relevant matters.
Yeah.
And a comparison
Yeah.
I'm thinking of making is, with Pong and table tennis. And I'll get fucking Wii Play ping pong on Wii Play.
Uh-huh. Well, there is a point to be made about how being digital, like, transforms the game, right? It's not truly the same game. But definitely, it's still like, okay, well, motherfucker, that doesn't make them fundamentally, like, completely different things. I guess they're different games, but they're not, like, a different category of thing, necessarily. Maybe subcategory. I don't know. It's just... People are very strange about, like, this new medium that's, like, never before been seen and is like nothing else. And it's like, what are the earliest video games? It's like tennis. Shoot the gun. Race the car.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Turbo Table Tennis Club, or whatever it's called. And record myself playing table tennis.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can bring up ping pong, the anime.
I
Everyone's
don't think I need to
favorite.
do that.
You could.
I can't imagine a rhetorical situation where that will be necessary.
Is it like Harrison Bergeron is about communism thing, or is he just literally a cult leader who vaguely stands for the idea of community? There's definitely, like, implications. I don't think she ever, like, mentions Marx, but I think they do talk about, like, she's, like, I think she's, like, Russian or something, or... I mean, BioShock 1 also never mentions fucking Karl Marx or any shit like that, right? BioShock 1, like, Andrew Ryan is also Russian, but he's never like, and then I did this because of Marxism. He's just like, you know, it's just implied, because the writer is a complete coward who refuses to actually say the name Karl Marx in a video game. Yeah, Andrew Ryan is Russian. Because he's an Ayn Rand XP, you know? But, like, there's a weird... There's a very weird thing going on in BioShock 2, where she's, like... The first, like, story arc is about, like, you know, it's about, like, Black Rapture, right? It's about, like... Here's the part of town that, like, you never visited in BioShock 1, where, like, it was, like, a ghetto, you know? It was, like... It was just... You know, he... And the local, like... She's kind of a Black Panther, honestly. She's, like, the main person on the radio going, like, you'll never beat me, I'm gonna do this for Sophia Lamb, because she's based, right? She's, like, loyal to Sophia Lamb for, like, helping... You know, poor, marginalized fucking people in Rapture, right? And there's a very strong implication of, like, she was, like, a class hero, right? She, like, she helped instigate the Civil War by, like, stoking class tensions to begin with. And then just, the later thing is, like, she's actually trying to create a superhuman for some reason. She's, like, a person who believes that individuals are incapable of empathy. Right? Like, individuals are so, like, have such a subjective position on everything that they can't ever possibly consider the true, like, needs of everyone around them. And therefore, she's trying to create a person who, like, her daughter is, like, an experiment to create a person who has, like, 5 million souls in them. Like, 5 million people's consciousnesses, so that she can be, like, the knower of all people's needs. And it's strange. And it's like, it's giving it like a communist-y tone, right? Like, she needs to be sacrificed for the greater good so that she can know, like, what the morally correct action is based on just like the math of it. Like whose needs weigh more than others. And it's very strange. It's really weird. I don't understand what's happening in like, and it like there is like an angle you could take with that where there are like weird historical communist offshoots who are like also kind of eugenicists, right? Fucking Nazbols, yeah, like those are real. It's a real people. There was like fucking Lysenko. You could definitely do that. It's just they do it by being like, I don't know. They do it in one of the stranger ways anyone's ever done anything. Alright, go for a bit. See you in hell. And there's like a... It's a weird thing where like... It's a similar point to the original Bioshock, where it's like, oh, Sophia Lamb went too far trying to create like a good person who could change the world. When actually, you know, her sort of like pure moral calculus...
I do not remember this attack like fucking at all.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck is this?
I don't remember this shit either. It was like the pure moral calculus of like doing the greater good is like wrong, and she went too far, and all the Supergirl actually needed was like a good parent figure who's gonna like show her moral goodness. And like you get the best ending by like sparing all of the bosses that you fight. And it's weird because one of the bosses you fight is like, I am a horrible botched science experiment. I am in permanent pain. Please kill me. I'm begging for death. And you can't kill him if you want the best ending. It's really weird. He's still just down there in the ocean, being like living in a jar, being tortured for eternity. Bioshock 2 is also just very strange about race. There's the whole DLC is about a guy who was like a black scientist who I think his like wife died, and like I think he was just not recognized for his accomplishments and whatever, so he went to Rapture. And it's an interesting look at like how you see race and like haha, black conservatives, how does that even exist? And it's like, well, this is how it exists, right? Like the promise of like your merits will be acknowledged, you know, in a colorblind sort of way, and so long as you do good, you will rise to the top. And like Bioshock 2 is kind of, you know, the DLC is kind of about how like that's bullshit, right? Like he didn't get anything for going to Rapture. He was still like, it's still a racist society, but it just doesn't go anywhere with it. He just like turns into a fucking a seaman. They at no point bring up racism, you know? It's not an explicit part of the text in any way. It's really funny. What are you talking about? Yeah, sorry, I forgot there was a gay character on the screen, and therefore that's all I can talk about. Uh-huh. There was some twink on the screen, so that's what I have to talk about. Turns into a seaman? Yeah, he does. And again, there's some subtext that's about like, oh, you know, even the greatest of, you know, the most accomplished black scientist in all of fucking Rapture still was just like fodder for like the experiments of the society. And it's just like, I would love it if you actually talked about this and not just left it as seemingly unintentional subtext. Can you explain the Giannis thing to Eleanor? We just continue to follow the guy who made Birdcage, and he makes a lot of like mock-ups of theoretical games he would like to make. And it's like, damn, dude. You don't have to make a video game. You can just make mock-ups forever. I think he's a very aesthetics-driven guy, which is evident in his game. They did, however, patch the fuck out of that game to like address a lot of my criticisms. And you know, they never commented on my review. They never said anything to me about it. They're
just like, fuck, this guy's right. Fuck.
You know, I'm just like, I know they saw it because the fixes were so specific to like things I complained about. Yeah, shut up. Our video. I don't know. It's just a bit wild how BioShock is like. It was so cowardly about talking about race until it was time to make the KKK game. And then it's like, I wish you would go back to leaving this as subtext. It's quite clear you don't know how to talk about this. Would you believe that the studio that made Gone Home was made up of guys who met while working on the BioShock 2 DLC? And that strangely, their story also has no black characters in it of any kind. There's like a Mexican girl, and she's really only kind of alluded to as Mexican. It's not really a very substantial part of her character. Well, it kind of is. It kind of comes up. And Aki from Persona 1. Yeah, the most shocking plot twist of all time.
Despite everything, it's still you. Chills.
What are you, Bouse? The only person I hear say chills like that is the League of Legends player, The Bouse, who engineered a Scion playstyle that really put me off that game. Why are you playing this again? Oh, because she fucked up the recording last time. The truth revealed. The truth come out.
I can get higher quality recording now that I have a better computer.
I just think that aesthetics-driven people have always existed in games. It's just that it used to be like, you're the artist and the UI designer on our game, and the game designer will design the game. And now the guys who would previously have been on one role in the game are now on every role in the game, unfortunately. It's like, I really can't fault you for not really having a plan for any of this. It does suck. Despite everything, it's still you. Is good on its own, but culturally it's so played. Yeah. Once again, a thing getting popular can ruin it. I'm sorry to say. I'm afraid that, you know, if you've seen that image 5 billion times before you play Undertale, it's really not gonna, it's just not gonna hit as hard. I will forever be against the Gendo Ikari Gillette razor. I'm sorry.
The what?
The Gendo Ikari official Gillette razor.
The Chick Hydro, the female Chick Hydro robot.
Yeah. The titty robot adventure commercial, as H. Bomber Guy called it.
Speaking of birdcage, that reminds me of a completely unrelated thing. So I got an email about a video game. Which is, I believe I can speak on this much because there's a public demo, prototype demo type thing. It's like if Yume Nikki, but it like it's like a how do I say this? Procedural generation.
Oh, LSD Dream Emulator.
It that's kind of true.
That's my position. Is everybody's like, ooh, you don't even know about my game that has no gameplay. Ooh, you don't understand. You're just closed-minded. And like, actually, the games I liked with no gameplay are way better than the ones you like. I actually just have high standards for vibes games. I don't settle for dog shit vibes. I don't settle for mediocre ass vibes that you motherfuckers are cranking out. My favorite video games are better than yours. It's a little Andrew Dobson reference for you. People really are out here settling for some of the worst vibes I've ever seen. I actually can't believe that, like, I can't believe some of the games people pass off as vibes games. I'll be truthful with you.
He did this with Time Stop, by the way.
Mm-hmm. You're really out here using your own opinions as bait. Your own actual opinions that you really hold. And some might say that their passability as bait, means that they're probably not actually good opinions.
It's really just that it upsets you. Like, the truth upsets you due to your, wicked soul, I think.
Care to explain what the fuck you were saying? There's this comic I saw that was like two girls arguing, and one of them is like, "Have you seen this movie?" And the other is like, "I don't watch movies. I think they're an inherently lesser form of art because it takes too many people to make them." And they just start like fighting and like beating the shit out of each other about it. And I sent that to Ice Cactus and I said, "This is you. You do this." And she's like, "What are you talking about? I never do this. I don't understand." And I'm just like, I don't know how you can pretend this hard. How
This is
can a
what she
person
sounds like when she's
pretend
talking
like
about a certain thing from Deltarune, AJ. Every time she talks about Deltarune, she sounds like she's rage-baiting bullshit. How about, like, Animal Jayson plays Deltarune on stream, and then we'll see his live reaction and what he thinks about the thing that's happening in Deltarune, the Deltarune thing. We'll see. We'll see what he thinks.
I literally don't think that about any medium of art. Do you have examples? You're literally always saying shit like X is a fundamentally inferior form of game than Y. You say that every day. Package came in the mail. I'm always saying this.
Close game. We're gonna reopen the game. I should screen share to you when I'm done doing this hilarious exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do this like 2 or 3 more times. A code word. Did you just say I'm a stupid doo-doo butt?
Sans is actually short for Sans Yule.
For Sanziel.
Mm-hmm. It's like true, that's true, that's not about mediums of art themselves. Uh-huh. Definitely not functionally the same thing.
The key was already on your keychain, almost like he stopped time to accomplish this.
Every time something implausible happens in a video game, it's probably because some character in universe stopped time. Like when I find an item in my inventory that wasn't there before, it's probably because the funny trickster put it there. Like while
This
no
is
one was
literally
looking.
a game that's like about the mechanics of this kind of thing, though. Like it's not.
It's a game that is about video games.
That's not what I said. That's a completely different matter.
And yet I'm correct.
This is a game about how humans have the power to save and reload.
This is a game about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
And next month there's gonna be a 3D Yume inspired game where you play as like a wolf girl. And she can howl.
Deadlock?
No,
Deadlock?
that's not Deadlock. How is that Yume
Deadlock?
or wolf girl?
There's a wolf girl in Deadlock.
Is there?
Yeah.
Eleanor,
Genuinely,
you are
yes.
autistic in like a really bad way. That's a rude thing to say. I should ban you from this chat.
You haven't seen the wolf girl from Deadlock that literally everyone wants to fuck?
That's probably a wolf lady, not a wolf girl. First of all, it's very
The what?
misogynistic to refer to adult women as girls or something, unless you mean it in like a gay way.
I'm just saying that me and Ice Cactus and Celia were in a call and we were talking about Deadlock. And Ice Cactus was like, I don't know what character I should fucking play in Deadlock. And Celia said, you should play Silver because you're a word that I'm not allowed to repeat. Or
Was
that
it a
I
word that started
personally,
with the
Animal
F
Jayson,
word
cannot
or
repeat.
the T word?
It started with the D letter. The letter
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
So
A Diddy blood.
yeah, Diddy blood, yeah. No, if that were the case, we would have recommended Graves.
It's a really good joke. I could make one, but you know, you wouldn't understand it.
Much like the Joker. Much like the Joker, I just wouldn't understand. Can you say that about multiple characters in Deadlock?
The Asgore boss fight in Deltarune was so much better than this. It's great.
Just spoil it. Spoil it real quick.
It's fucked up that Asgore died in Deltarune. That's like...
I don't want to fuck the wolf girl because I'm not attracted to women. You know, that's a good point. I'm just saying, you know. I'm saying that when she was revealed, I saw genuine confusion over, like, her gender. I saw people being like, I definitely want to fuck this character, but I don't know what... I don't know in what way. I don't know if that makes me gay, or, you know, I don't know in what direction.
Having you broski working really put out LARPing. Broski worked on the secret boss, not on the main boss. Everyone knows this.
Broski, the Street Fighter player? Thinking she's not a woman is crazy. Well, it was only, like, the splash portrait.
Right? Oh, I forgot
we
to
didn't know any of the voice lines. We didn't know see the character model. It was literally just the art, and it was like, wow, I can kind of understand it then.
I'm really fucking this shit up.
What do you mean the LARPing?
LARPing Deltarune, which means being the average Deltarune fan. This is one of the best attacks in the entire game.
I actually don't think any attack is good because I think violence is wrong.
And you said you don't like Undertale. Here you are, absorbing its message perfectly.
Undertale, you know, Undertale a little bit hypocritical for having fun combat. The combat should have been dog shit instead to compensate. To like fit with the themes.
This is ironically what criticisms of the evil router. What's your opinion on Moon Remix RPG Adventure?
I need to finish it. I never finished it, even though that's also like a good vibes game. The thing about a vibes
the
game
reason why I was
is
saying I was
that-
gonna play the Final Fantasies is for the Moon Remix video. It's a game about games, if you didn't know.
the thing about Moon is, once again, sometimes, you know, a vibes game has to scare the hose sometimes. That's the thing about Yume Nikki. That's what makes it good, is that it's willing to scare the hose. People want vibes games, but they won't accept the #1 vibe of all time, which is being kind of scared. Just like not entirely sure why you're kind of scared, but regardless, being kind of scared.
That was really scary because that last attack would have been hard to dodge. Why is it like crazy fast now? Really should have sorted my inventory. Wah!
Moon Remix is really good vibes, yeah. Everyone wants to make a vibes game, but what they mean by vibes is chill lo-fi beats to study and relax to, you know? They just want like 2 hours of that. They don't want the real vibes.
Last hit. Too easy. I gotta use the bathroom again.
Don't we all? Some of us are trying to sort that out in a medical sense, you know? Give my man Jason's urinary tract. I'm afraid it's unsalvageable at this point. You know, how about I also go to the bathroom and leave you all in silence? Can you play other video games again? No, I have to get Oracle. I'm almost there. I'll be back.
Hello, hello, I've returned. Crazy how Carol is tonight. It's crazy if you think about it. Crazy this is a known fact, and Toby Fox has already revealed this information. You low-key deserve to be made homeless. No, I fucking don't, is the thing. I don't know why this makes you so fucking mad. You have problems. This bitch got issues. What if you deserved to be banned from chat? You thought of that one? No, banned from chat isn't so funny anymore? Not so funny anymore, huh? That's what I fucking thought. I'm waiting for Animal Jayson to finish his piss. Or his poop, you know, you never know.
The gamers.
Hello, hello. Welcome back, sir.
Are you gonna do the stuff for passive? Well, you know, no one knows what stuff is anymore. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Sans.
Is the speech bubble... Does that have, like, a
What?
different pixel scale than the sprite art?
I have no idea.
It definitely
I wouldn't know
does.
that
Like,
kind of thing.
the speech box. It definitely
I wouldn't.
100% does.
I wouldn't know that kind of thing. I just hear the stream close noise. That's all I hear.
Big Flowey. It's crazy how Flowey show up in Delta. I really didn't expect them.
Yeah. Well, now I know he doesn't. You're reverse spoilering me.
Or am I?
Yeah, you wanna do this in layers? You wanna hit me with the layers? I hate video games.
This game's awesome. I can feel them wriggling. That was pretty bad. Genuinely, that was like a terrible performance for me. Good thing that you can't die in this section.
Mm-hmm. A terrible gaming performance.
It's a great pattern. I like it.
You know, I know a little game that's also about, you know, it's kind of a meta commentary on saving and reloading in video games and dying and persistence. It even has shoot 'em up elements. You know, pretty good game.
I know. I heard it's like twice as long as it should be.
Twice as long. You know, it's not illegal. It's not illegal for a shmup to be a fucking hour and a half.
But it should be. It's the thing.
What if you beat it all on your first try and it wasn't really short because you're such a god gamer? You know, I agree.
It's still like an hour long. It's the thing about that.
What if you were to just sort of level up your gaming skill? What is the problem with Streets of Rage 4 is that it's fucking 2 hours long on a 1cc. It's fucking absurd. Which made me absolutely not want to play any more of that game when I realized that that was the case.
That one felt kind of easy. That was a very generous hitbox there. They're really good at getting you here. Really good at getting you here. I will say with the saves and loads.
You explain that playing arcade games is more than just playing random ass bullshit in person. I don't know if that's true. I think you can play whatever you want. I think people can do whatever they even want. I think 99% of people, when they play arcade games, what they're doing is they go to the local arcade and they have fun just playing, kind of playing whatever, you know? Just kind of playing like DDR and not being particularly good at it. It's just like having fun.
She hates
it's
fun,
like
though.
It's like 95.
That's Junie's thing.
It's like 95% of what people do at arcade games. It's just like load up a racing game and have fun. And then there's a certain percentage of people who go hard. And that's good and that's cool. And it's also just a kind of a different thing.
Fucking finally. This is Hope Slop.
It actually is Hope Slop, I don't know. I actually literally would call it's. I mean, it's kind of a Gurren Lagann. It's kind of hope slop in that way.
If you heard her talk about arcade games, you would understand the issue. She gets mad because at one time I fucking, like, said arcade design instead of classic design about Katamari. Katamari Damacy.
It's really good.
She got mad because I fucking said Katamari had arcade-style design. That's not why. That is why. That is literally why. That's the thing you got mad at me about.
She loves to lie too, and sort of claim tiny distinctions between things that don't actually exist. But for all practical purposes are 99.9% the same.
You think survival horror games are arcade? When did I say that?
It's actually the opposite. Those are like adventure games. They're just adventure games with more combat, more and better combat.
This part would be really good if someone was, like, screaming Flowey's lines, like, really loud.
Yeah. Yeah, extremely loudly, such that people nearby get concerned.
No! You can't do that! You're supposed to obey me! It's only authentic if someone is screaming really loudly.
Yeah, when they finally add the voice acting to this game that so desperately needs.
That'll be the 20th anniversary, for sure. Inspired by Omocat.
You know, where are Toby Fox's flight logs?
It's crazy how Omocat is, like, a super duper Nepo baby.
You know, aren't they all?
Straight up had, like, a fashion line before making a video game. Toby Fox isn't a Nepo baby. He just, like, lived in Andrew Hussey's basement for making music. Which is, like...
You know?
It's not Nepo baby if you're actually indie. Like... There's a difference between having a fucking fashion company and making actually making a popular video game on Kickstarter money because you gave free money to a webcomic.
Seems like you kind of believe that a fashion line is an inherently inferior
what
sort of form, you know? It seems like what you're saying is that having a fashion line is like unearned fame. Like it's not hard work in the same way that making a video game is. It seems like that's what you're saying, actually.
Are you stupid?
People act like no voices in a game is an objective flaw. Yeah. You know, people tell me I'm like a prescriptive, like I think certain things are objectively good and bad thing. And then I'm just out here like, there's actually benefits to not having voice acting. People are like, I can't think of a single. God, what are you talking about? Do you think they're ever gonna make another good Kingdom Hearts game? You know what? I hear mixed things about Kingdom Hearts 3. Someday I'll find out why. Which, I mean, I have an oomph who constantly talks to me about how Kingdom Hearts 3 is the worst fucking shit ever. It's missing a lot of quality of life features, such as a quest log. Yeah. You know, at one point, people said objective flaws, and then corporations told them to say streamlining instead, and they started saying that, and then that caught bad connotations from how much it was used, and they switched up and they started saying quality of life instead. I'll be back in a second.
We're like at the end of the game. Let's go stand somewhere cool.
Hey gamers. The problem is that every like art critic has
Shit.
well they have liberal arts brain, and they review technical products like they're you know, artsy. And the problem is that every Steam review is an engineer brain reviewing art like it's a list of technical requirements which must be met. And that's sort of the problem we have. We have to reverse society a little bit. The problem is most people are liberals. So true, bestie. Page 3 is a boring game. That's fucked up.
I'm just finding somewhere interesting to stand while we stream's over basically. You know, game's over basically.
Yeah, game's over basically. There's no more content.
I mean, yeah, we saw the credits. We can stop playing Undertale now.
Engineer brain is something that must be balanced, like one of the four humans. Yeah, it's appropriate in certain places. The reverse is the kind of person who's like, actually, it's bad to complain about frame rate. Because what if the artistic intent is for this game to run at fucking 10 FPS? Right? There's people who are like, why does this game have difficulty that's like suboptimal from a efficiency perspective. And then there's people who are like, why are you complaining about the frame rate? You hate art?
Here's a good place to stop.
Yeah, by the dog that throws ice in the river.
The dog?
That's a dog.
It's a
That's
wolf.
like a werewolf. A wolf is a dog.
A moose is a deer.
Have you played Sylvie Lime? No. I should, though. I mean, remember when Square Enix was like, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is underperforming? It only sold 20 billion copies, and we needed to sell 20 trillion? It's an item that changes the frame rate from 24 FPS to 60. That's good. Dark Souls 1 type shit. One of my favorite at head falls off posts of all time is Square Enix actually made smaller games with worse graphics, blah blah blah. And they sold no copies. None of you bought them, and they completely failed, and they stopped doing that.
Deltune's so good. It's crazy how Toby Fox actually got better. And didn't just birdcage it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's called pulling a silk song, I call it at this point. Like being an indie dev whose game is really popular, and then you actually still are just like, I can actually make a better game than that. Instead of just resting on your damn laurels.
The resting on your yannis. Smaller games with worse graphics thing was like a pure virtue signaling. Hop off Bunlith.
Hop off Oomph. I mean, it was...
She actually did make a small game with worse graphics.
The problem is that, yeah, for the overwhelming majority of people who, like, would share that sentiment, they actually don't give a fuck, right? Like, most people play 3 video games a year, and the rest of the time they spend watching YouTube videos about games. Right? Like, 99% of the people who would share that sentiment, you know, that's what they do. It's simply the world we live in now.
So when are we gonna do the Animal Jayson fan meetup?
We'll be doing it in deep within Indochina. We'll be doing that in Manchuria.
Can we just do it in Toronto?
Every movie producer be like.
There's literally this is Toronto lore, okay? So they had like a second subway that was like under the other subway, so that they could always be running lines on the you know, the one little loop, right? And they shut that down because that was stupid. But so there's just this abandoned, you know, subway line, and that's where they film like everything that takes place like in a subway, right? Because it's just the perfect spot. It's literally built to be a subway, but no one's there, so you don't get any fucking people staring at the camera in the background. They're random people. You know, you're not fucking using the thing that needs to be used.
Yeah, it's got liminal vibes.
I wouldn't say that.
Check DMs. All right, what are you fucking sending me? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Ask Cactus. That's true.
And you run along
The
the subway
problem,
tracks, SMT Nocturne. Oh.
Yeah. Like in Nirvana, the band, the show. The thing as always is, when T.S. Eliot wrote the poem The Hollow Men, wherein the metaphor is that everyone is like everyone in modern society is like a scarecrow, and they're like devoid of cultural meaning, right? Nothing that's inside of them is giving them any purpose, but they are regardless stuffed full of straw, you know? Meaningless cultural bullshit that like does fill up their soul. It takes up all the space, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't provide them anything. And that's the world. Everybody plays 50 million story games and vibes games and games that look nice, and they're like 10 out of 10, perfect masterpiece. And then a month later, they've forgotten about it because there's not actually anything in there. It's not actually feeding them. They live in a cultural food desert, as Matt Christman once said. And that's where we're at. And so all anyone can do is like say that we should make stuff that's more meaningful, and they don't even know how to suggest it. They don't even know what it should look like. They just know, it's probably bad that everything's really expensive.
Shame that nothing can happen and nothing can change for the better, and capitalism will always be here. This is what I believe.
Yeah, it's a shame that nothing ever happens.
I never thought about it that way, but that's true. Wow. Nothing does ever happen.
Yeah. Stop following somebody on Tumblr because they said Persona 4 is their favorite game, and I unfollowed someone because they said Signalis is a good game. Yeah, this is my agenda. I don't know. It's like the kind of person who's like, all they watch is Marvel movies, and they're like, well, this isn't satisfying me. I don't know what, like, this isn't giving me anything, but I don't know why. And their conclusion is like, well, it just needs to be a little bit more diverse. Once we reach like a quota of diversity, this will start making me feel good. And it doesn't. It never does. It will never reach that point because it's actually trash made to promote American imperialism, and it doesn't feed them. None of these quirked up indie games that anybody plays is actually fucking goddamn. This ain't food. This isn't food, brother. Your Signalis fandom is not giving you any sustenance. That's why you need fan fiction to fucking fill in for it. You need like fan animations of like the characters actually having personalities and like a romance so that you can fucking feel something.
Because the Avengers aren't marketable. Are you sure? Are you sure the Avengers aren't marketable? I don't think that's how I would describe it.
Disney tried to engineer a Western otaku culture and it didn't work. Yeah, because you can't engineer it. Otaku cultures only work when you have a comiket where people can just sell whatever the fuck they want. They can just be like, yeah, we made like a whole fighting game based on an anime. We didn't ask permission. We didn't get a license. Like, if they showed up and they really wanted to, they could just like rip our heads off. But like, they know not to do that. And unfortunately, America is 5 corporations in a trench coat, as we know, who IP law exists for them to rip people's heads off for fun. The Westoid mind cannot comprehend like a fan game that actually reaches the same level of ubiquity as the thing itself or outgrows it. You know?
What do you mean? We're doing that. We're playing one right now. Playing that Earthbound
Yeah, I
fan
guess
game.
so. The Westoid mind cannot comprehend the idea of like 12 people just getting together and making a fighting game based on a fucking visual novel. And being like, we're making this because we think it'll rock. Do you fear what Disney can do with X-Men and Spider-Man on their hands? Spider-Man becomes impossible to take seriously the more it becomes what it is, you know? Oh man, this story about this down and out guy who's like, you know, being a superhero is like his fucking part-time job, basically. He gets no glory for it. It really just makes his life worse in every possible way. And he's poor. He's just always poor because there's no upward mobility. What if he was hanging out with Mr. Iron Man and he was giving him a $1 billion Spider-Man suit?
You better play Void Changer after reaching Oracle, says Junie. Oh my god, I stuttered like Porky Pig.
Yeah. You know, could. It costs money. Why everything costs money?
I'm sure Junie will give it to you for free.
U.S. American fan culture can't ever work too long because they don't like making their own stuff. They got to design pins and make them via an exploitative sweatshop in China. Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. Junie probably can't give it to you because she's Canadian and you're not Canadian. It's fucked up.
That's big if true.
The currency difference or whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy how becoming a culture of consumption rather than a culture of production actually just fucks up your ability to produce things, and you can't do stuff anymore. You can't actually make culture of value because fucking your animators are in Southeast Asia. It's almost like that irrevocably fucks up your ability to produce culture. You know, the closest thing to culture that we still have is like independently produced comic books, which like get no traction anywhere. You know, manga might be an extremely exploitative business, but it is like, we're gonna pay one guy to make a comic, and that guy's gonna make it. And it will become a pillar of the Japanese economy. It's just like this one guy and maybe a couple of assistants.
Alright. I think stream's over. I think it's time to it's over. What do you think, Jason? It's over?
I'm starting to think it's over. I'm starting to think that it's over.
We'll finish Undertale on Monday, I'm sure.
They're calling it Monday Tale. Hey, fun talking to AJ. You can do that in any context, in any world.
That's so rude, Cactus.
I need to play Rev too. That's true.
You know what? I'm thinking it's over. It's over.
It's over.